tie. And he did. I mean, a green tie. And he did. Instead of his red tie.
I did, yes.
Thank you for doing that.
You're very welcome. Lakers snapping their 4-game losing streak with a 107-96 win over the Suns last night, Hannah. Luka leading the way with 33 points. Austin Reeves adding 28. LeBron James remaining out with a groin strain. The Lakers have gone from 2nd to 5th in the West. Next up, the Spurs tonight. And our Dave McMenamin joining us now. Dave, what are the Lakers saying about gaining their momentum back ahead of tonight's game?
Jay, it was an impressive performance against the Suns on Sunday. Despite the Suns' struggles, the Lakers came out and clamped them down defensively. The Suns are the number 10 team in terms of offense in the league, and the Lakers held them to under 100 points and just 22% shooting in the first quarter. 3 for 14 combined between Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal and Devin Booker. And Luka Doncic said something very interesting. He said, we were shown the way we're supposed to play in our previous loss to the Denver Nuggets. In that game, there was no Luka, no LeBron, no Dorian Finney-Smith, no Gabe Vincent, et cetera, et cetera. And those guys watched the game and saw the effort that guys like Austin Reeves and Christian Coloco and Jared Vanderbilt and Dalton Connect, Jordan Goodwin, right on down the line, played with. And it was a reminder that, well, we're going through this stretch, and the Lakers are in the middle of 6 games in 8 days right now. They need to push through it and play with that type of effort and intensity, and that will be the pathway to get through this stretch and get back to their winning ways.
Yeah, 10 and 6 rather since Luka made his debut on February 10th. I know you don't have a monitor, but I'm digging our outfits. I got the blue jacket, green tie. You have the green jacket and the blue tie. We look good, Dave McMenamin. Thank you, bro.
I'm sure we do, Jay. Thank you.
Dave's Irish, McMenamin? Just kidding.
Now he is.
There are 6 teams separated by 3.5 games for the 2nd seed out west with less than a month left in the regular season. The Rockets have won 6 straight. They occupy that spot, but still they have a couple of head-to-head meetings, 2 each against the Nuggets and the Lakers. Tim Legler is here with us, also sporting the green. This is his favorite holiday, and his dog's name is Guinness. We just learned that.
Good information.
But let's talk some basketball. Nuggets are at the Warriors in the back half of our doubleheader. So which team out west do you think poses the biggest threat to the team that leads the conference by a mile, the Thunder?
This is tough, Hannah, because the big question all along has been which team is most likely to be the last team standing against Oklahoma City. And I think it's a hard question to answer, but if you look at Golden State right now and what they've done here over the last 3 weeks, they are making a very strong case that it might be them. As long as you can avoid that OKC bracket, maybe it is the Warriors that's the last team standing against them. Look, their numbers pointed out. You see what they have done since they acquired Jimmy Butler. Their defensive rating 2nd in the league, 4th offensively. Those look very similar to the metrics and the numbers of when they were winning championships. They can play small when they have to. Their bigger lineups against certain teams are effective enough, but their small lineups, with Jimmy Butler in particular on the court defensively, the versatility they've had, they are now rattling off wins at a big clip. And I know people are questioning who they've beaten, and maybe that's why the Denver Nuggets might be a notch in their belt, that people can finally take notice of what they are doing, because it is clean basketball on both ends of the floor, very mature team that thinks they can make another run in the West.
Yeah, I mean, this group won their first championship by going small in that NBA Finals. Meanwhile, let's talk about a team that's far away from a championship, but did get some good news today. Tim, we're glass half full here. They're trying to hang on to that last play-in spot. Anthony Davis sent to the Texas Legends of the G League to participate in some 5-on-5 scrimmages. He is rehabbing an adductor strain. As you know, he was hurt in the Mavs game back on February 8th, his first game with them. So we have the Phoenix Suns. They're a game and a half back of the Mavs, and yet they aren't making up any ground. They lose to the Lakers without LeBron. Just, can you dissect this for us? I mean, why haven't they been able to figure out how to win consistently with the talent that they have?
Yeah, so I've used this analogy in looking at Phoenix and the Dallas situation, right? With Dallas with all these injuries. Imagine you're on a sidewalk and you're looking ahead at somebody you're trying to catch up to, and that person is actually walking backwards and you still can't catch them. That's exactly what it looks like for Phoenix. I mean, they're right there. Dallas lost 8 out of 9 games, and Phoenix is having a very difficult time making up that ground, and in large part because I just don't see enough fight out of this team. You know, the one thing that separates Phoenix from some of these other teams we've talked about that have been disappointing or underachieving, all of those teams, whether it's Philly or the Dallas Mavericks or the New Orleans Pelicans, they can say it's because of injuries. Phoenix can't say that. They've got their guys healthy, so it comes down to fight, want to, and chemistry. This isn't an X's and O's issue. This is simply a matter of want to, and I think there are too often I've watched the Phoenix Suns, and I question that because Dallas is there for the picking if they want to catch them, and Phoenix has had a hard time catching up that ground.
Yeah, it's just so hard to figure out. And by the way, to add on top of everything that you just said, they actually have the hardest remaining schedule in the NBA. Tim Legler, thank you. During which Josh Hart and head coach Tom Thibodeau got into a heated exchange during a timeout in the fourth quarter. Both of them downplayed that exchange after the game. Actually, Hart was scoreless in that one. Tim Bontemps is on the scene at Madison Square Garden with more on their matchup with the Heat. The Knicks, this is their first game back from that West Coast road trip. The incident we just saw, and we know Jalen Brunson remains out with an ankle injury. So what is their mindset? What's the state of the Knicks ahead of this matchup tonight?
Well, the first state of the Knicks, Hannah, is to get Jalen Brunson back on the court. It's still going to be another week or two until we see the all-pro NBA guard back on the court for the Knicks in a uniform, playing in clutch time like he has all season, delivering big buckets for the Knicks on this Madison Square Garden court. Now, the Knicks, while he's been out, the goal has been to just survive and advance, to use an NCAA tournament term. And so far, they've been able to do that. They went 2-3 on that road trip, got an overtime win in Portland when Mikal Bridges hit that late buzzer beater. Obviously, as you mentioned, Josh Hart and Tom Thibodeau got into it a little bit on Saturday. Those guys both, as you said, downplayed that incident. But overall, Hannah, the Knicks, when Jalen Brunson got hurt, the concern for them was to fall down the Eastern Conference standings. But as it stands right now, they're 5 losses back of the Boston Celtics, who are in second, and they're 5 losses ahead of the Bucks and Pacers in 4th and 5th. So they're pretty well ensconced in that 3rd place spot. Now the focus is getting Jalen Brunson healthy and back on the court.
Yeah, and they've dominated the Heat in their regular season meetings, and the Heat are coming in on a 7-game lose.
The ceiling fan is blown, and Luka's feet are rubbing together right now.
What a picture.
Listen, he's comfortable. He's comfortable. And a lot of people have to realize, unless you've been traded before, you don't know the feeling. And now we're starting to see him embrace being a Los Angeles Lakers. He's finally getting his legs up under him. You see he's finally moving and getting back to the Luka that we know, rebounding at a high level, dropping dimes at a high level. Hell, he's been averaging 30+ over his last few games. And so this is the Luka that everyone has grown to love, and now he got his swag back. You see him, he's interacting with the fans, and now it's looking dark for the rest of the league.
Well, first I want to say the image of him rubbing his feet together.
Visceral.
Well, I'm just going to say this, and you will agree with me on this. There's nothing uglier on earth than NBA players' feet.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
there's a reason NBA players wear socks on the beach.
Be taken on a
They wear
Monday.
socks on the beach. I'm just telling you.